Hello FlossTube, my name is Sarah. I'm from Memphis and this is my channel about cross stitch. Welcome, welcome. Today is a Thursday, January the 11th, and this is FlossTube number 32 for me. I'm so happy to see everyone. So I am back within 2 weeks. Well, basically, my last FlossTube was a wrap-up of December, and one of my New Year resolutions for my FlossTube was to film twice a month. I was going to shoot for the middle of the month and then an end of the month wrap-up. So here I am at the middle of the month. Now, I'm going to have to confess, I had to let a couple things go in order to make this happen. So the fingernails don't look the best, and the WIPS are not ironed perfectly, and there's some creases in there. So I'm just gonna say that is maybe a trade-off I'm gonna have to make sometimes in order to get these in with life. It looks like my schedule's gonna permit me to for the next couple months at least to be doing these on Thursdays, so that's exciting. Kind of what I've been up to. Had a happy new year. I went out of town. I don't know if you all saw any of my, well, I mean, if you saw my last update about my December wrap up, and then I also posted a 2024 plans. I filmed those before I went out of town to my sister-in-law's for New Year's, and my intention was to go out of town and have those filmed and just upload those while I was there over the weekend. And I couldn't, they wouldn't upload. It took days and days for the first one to upload. And then all of a sudden, boom, out of the blue, it just worked and went up in like an hour. And then, well, and after I did that, I'm like, well, let me hurry up and get the next one right up. So that's what I did. I've had some technical difficulties the last couple goes. I'm currently experiencing technical difficulties. I filmed a gorgeous 2-hour plus whip parade on Sunday that I have edited fully, and I've been trying to produce it from the editing stuff and then upload it, and I'm getting error messages, and so I'm having to go back, and I don't have to refilm it, but I'm having to go back and re-edit and then try to produce it again. So if you don't know, this might be just, you might be tuning out, but I record my FlossTube on my iPhone, and then there's some an app editing software that I use to do things like put in pictures to show you my progress, or put in text to show you hashtags, or to cut out those parts where my dogs lose their mind when a cat walks in the yard, that sort of stuff. I don't do anything like super fancy, but I do go through it and I make sure that, or if I say something like, oops, I said the wrong person, I can pop it in there, the right person, or if I accidentally show a chart, I can cover that up. So, you know, that sort of stuff is what I do. But it does take some time, but then after you edit it within that little thing, app or program or whatever on my phone, then I have to produce it. So it produces and then it saves it. And then that's what I use to upload to YouTube. It's a process. So here's the thing. I'm having to go back and re-edit that long whip parade. And it is a lot of editing for the whip parade because, newsflash, I have 93 whips going into 2024. So I have a lot of whips that I am like putting in progress pictures in, and it just takes time. It's not a burden or anything. It just takes time. So hopefully everything will go okay the next time I get it completely edited, and it'll produce, and I'll be able to get it up this weekend. We'll see. It's there. I'm trying. All right. So otherwise, had a really happy new year. Got to spend some time, like I said, out of town at my sister-in-law and her husband's house. They live basically between Memphis and Nashville, but out in the country. And my sister-in-law, she's the one who makes the project bags, Rivertown Designs US. I took my sewing machine up there, and we spent some time sewing, and she helped me get more familiar with my machine, and I did my first FFO. Well, actually, I think technically it was my last FFO of 2023 because I finished it before New Year's Day, but I want to show that with y'all, show y'all. So, when I went to the Stitch New England retreat, in our swag bag was this super great kit, and in it was this cute corner gauge, so helpful, right? And then there was some fabric and some beautiful Atomic Ranch Ada, and some color and cotton floss, and a needle, and a little piece of felt for your needle, and a cool scissor fob made out of buttons from Tracy at OG Stitchery. And Helen D, she designed a pattern and Helen D, you can find her on FlossTube. She has tons of great tutorials. She designed a pattern to make a little pocket for our corner gauge to go in. So you stitched it, wicked awesome stitching, which I've already showed this to you all. And then Helen, she's a tutorial on her FlossTube, and you make it into a little pocket. So I made a pocket out of the materials they provided. It's a little wonky. You know, cutting is hard. Cutting in straight lines is hard, but I sewed this. I made this whole little pocket situation. I'm super excited about it. So that's a fun FFO. Yay! That's my only FFO since I've seen y'all last, and my only finish, but I have been stitching. Let's see what else is going on. We've got some snow supposed to be coming Sunday and Monday, but before the snow gets here tomorrow, we're supposed to have terrible thunderstorms and rain and wind and all of those things. So fingers crossed the power stays on and everything goes good. I am going to, after I finish this, I'm going to be going over to my daughter's house, and I'm going to get to hang out with my grandson Brooks for a little bit because she has a doctor's appointment. And then I'm going to go to the grocery store, and I'm going to be your typical Memphis girl, Memphis mom, whatever person when they say snow's coming, and I'm going to buy the bread, and I'm going to buy the milk, and I'm going to buy the eggs. And actually, I really don't like to go to the store. And so I'm going to buy groceries for several days, and so I'm going to do that this evening. And then I have a really fun Zoom to look forward to with Maggie of Kitschy WIPS and Amy of Fiber Arts Amy. So I'm going to be doing some Zooming. Yeah, that's pretty much it. My son went to Guatemala over the holiday to visit his sweet girlfriend and her family, and he got back safe and sound, and he has started his next semester of school. So yeah, I mean, everything's just kind of rolling along around here. It's good. It's good. Yeah, so that was my FFO. I don't have any finishes. I do want to show you all some WIPs today, talk about some goals, some plans that I have coming up. I have a little bit of haul and some Stitchy Kindness. So let's hop right into WIPs. Okay, this has been a new start since I saw you last. It's a late new start. I'm stitching this for my my daughter and my son-in-law for their family Christmas ornament, but it's this one, Best Friend Santa. Yeah, they lost their sweet little dog, Remy, a yellow lab, around a little after right around Thanksgiving. So I'm stitching this for them, and there's where I am. So I've gotten some decent progress on it. I'm stitching this came as a kit, so Mill Hills do. So I'm stitching on the perforated paper with the Mill Hill floss, and I'll use the beads. I did put this on a set of these mini stretcher bars that they use for like needlepoint. You don't have to do this. It's just when I stitch with the perforated paper, I wreck it. Like I hold it really tight and I bend it really bad, and my floss gets, when I'm going in and out, my floss gets caught on these edges. My friend Fawn of Sanctum Stitching, she recommended if the edges were giving you a hard time, like to put some washi tape around it, which is a great idea, especially if you don't manhandle it like, I mean, I do. Jeez. So, but this is where I am, and this little system works good for me. You know, got a good bit left, but I hope to knock it out soon because I want to FFO this ornament and the one I finished for my son. It was living in this super cool project binder made for me by Tammy Blaylock, and she is Creative Country Girl. She is she has a website. This is a piece that I stitched. It is a Sense and Sensibility piece from the Stitching Book Club, and I really just didn't know what to do with it, and I brought it to Tammy at StitchCon, and I'm like, can you make me something with this? And she did, and I love it. It's great. But yeah, there's my all my stuffs. So yeah, that one's coming along, and that is a easy to take with me, work on project wherever. So that's going along well. Okay, another one that I worked on. This is Tree Bear by Soda Stitch. I started this a while back, and then my friend Bernadette of Burn Stitches, she started a hashtag where it's hashtag Soda Stitch Saturday, where she stitches she stitches Soda Stitch on Saturdays. So I did stitch this. They also started to stitch along Bernadette and Jordan, the tattooed stitcher, that I am stitching this on, called hashtag Tree Bear Sal. It's really cute. If you ever seen, so a Sew to Stitch pattern, a lot of them you can get on their Etsy shop as a PDF, but I actually have the hard copy of this one, which is laminated. It's a beautiful chart, but let me just show y'all how big it is. I mean, in the top of the star is up here and the bottom is here. I mean, like the chart takes up the entire, all of this. It's wild. It's wild. But with my new method that Bernadette turned me onto, and I know, I have heard about it, but I just didn't ever do it. But the whole use your iPad, use whatever kind of reader. I'm using GoodNotes. That's what Bernadette told me she uses. I take a picture and then I can zoom in. And the cool thing is the reason why I really like to use paper is because I like to, for some charts, especially a chart that's like a lot of color changes like this, because there's a lot of different greens like in each little area. I like to mark off where I go so I don't get lost, like my mirrors and stuff. And so my husband bought me an iPad pencil for Christmas, and now I'm just marking stuff off to my heart's content. It's working fabulously. I'm very excited about it. But let's show you where I am. This is where I am. So I think since you last saw this, I added, I know I added this red ornament, maybe the yellow, some greenery. This is so cute. I'm stitching this on some Aida that actually came in a kit with the Panna Christmas Mousse. So I don't know what color it is. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember off the top of my head what count it is. I think it's 32. I mean, I think it's 16 count, but yeah. It's so cute. It's so cute. I've measured it like 50 times because I'm really afraid it's not going to fit on this piece of fabric, but every time I measure it, it says I'm okay. So it just looks like it's going to be pretty close. And I mean, maybe it will be close, but it's going to fit. All right, the next one I got some work in on was this Santa's Night Tree by Holo from Liz Matthews. I got this because I attended her Jingle Ball class, and I didn't get it finished in time. I didn't get all the pre-stitching done, but I still attended the class, and then I was able to watch it once more before it went out. Oh shoot, I forgot to bring those pins in here. I wanted to show you the pins I also made from Beth Twist Heartstring Sampling pin making class. I'll show you all next time. I guess they're kind of like an accessory FFO, huh? I just thought of something else I wanted to show y'all. Okay. Anyway, I stitched a little bit on this one. I'm stitching this one on a piece of 36 count Atomic Ranch. I cannot remember what the color is. Zan and I bought it specifically for this chart when we were at the Stitch New England retreat. I think since the last time you've seen it, I added trees and snow and part of a house. So it's coming along. I mean, you know, I still got a lot left. I still have a couple houses, like 2 more big houses and all that snow. And then I don't feel like Santa and the reindeer are going to take quite as long as all of that. But yeah, I'm moving along. I still, you know, my goal is basically to have this thing finished in FFO before next Christmas. So, but I feel like I have to keep working on that one because otherwise I don't think I'll just naturally pick it up. Okay. This one, I stitched on this on New Year's Eve. It's Raise a Glass by Blackbird Designs. I started this with my friend Stacy from Thread the Needle Stitchery last New Year's Eve. Hashtag Raise a Glass of 2023. And so I hadn't worked on it in the past year. And then I pulled it out and I was like, I'm going to take this and work on this. So I got a good progress on this one. I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count Marbled Pointer by Shiba Designs. Oh, I think it's so pretty. So pretty. When I started stitching it, I was kind of like, well, I'll show you the color palette. I completely finished one skein of Cherry Bark, but it's a lot of similar colors, I feel like. So I was kind of like, really? But, I mean, you know, why would I even question Blackbird? Give me a break. Because see how good the stars look and everything? Even though they're very close in color, they're different. They're different. And I'm really enjoying it. So this is a fun one. I actually didn't want to stop working on this one. You know, I have so many finishes that I want to get done this year. I don't know if I'll be able to work this one back in before the end of the year. But anything's possible. And I really am enjoying it. So maybe. My New Year, new start was the Cut Through Wedding by Bothy Threads. Well, the artist is actually Amanda Loverseed, and it's a Bothy Threads kit. It's so fun. You see the socks on that priest. Well, I don't know if he's a priest or he has a collar on though. He just looks awful young, almost like an altar server or something. I don't know. But I love this. I love this. So I started this because this year is mine and my husband's 25th wedding anniversary. And so this is one of my goal pieces to start and finish this year. And I had every intention of starting this on the kit fabric, which was like a 14 count Aida, I think. And I'm using a kit floss, but then I got to looking at it. It has a lot of backstitch, and I just think, in my experience, I feel like backstitch is easier on even weave or linen, especially in even weave. So I went and grabbed some even weave from my stash, and I ended up choosing a piece of Lugana. I think it's a 32 count stone wash by Seraphim Fabrics. And I thought it would be a pretty, like, just a, a cloudy background sky like that. And I just started right there in the middle, and all that yellow. Yeah, I got a good start on it. Well, I got a 200 stitch start on it, so that is sufficient for me for now. It is one of my goal pieces for the year, so I anticipate you all seeing plenty of this year, but I am happy to say it is started, and that is exciting. It lives in a project bag my sister-in-law made me last year. I have St. Patrick's Day anniversary, so that's why we've got all of this goodness going on. And do you see this? Look at that heart with the 4-leaf clover in it. So fun, so fun. Oh gosh, this one, I pulled this one out. I'm gonna have to pop a picture up. This is my chatelaine. I'm gonna pop a picture up here. It is called Rainy Day Autumn Seasons 1. I worked on it some last year, but not a ton. But my friends Maggie and Amy, Maggie's Kitschy WIPS, Amy's Fiber Arts Amy, they started a hashtag a year or two ago called hashtag Chatelaine Wednesday. So fun. It basically encouraging you to do something with your chatelaines on Wednesday, whether it's, plan or shop or stitch or whatever. So, but they hosted their first chatelaine Zoom, and I joined them, and it was so fun. So I did put a few stitches in during the Zoom. Mostly I did ask a question, and then I just listened because there were a lot of experienced chatelaine stitchers on the chat. And so I was enjoying hearing them talk about their chatelaine adventures. But here's where we are. Here's where I am. Oh, I love it. It's coming out really good. So yeah, when I was talking to them on Zoom, I started on this edge over here. I was having the most terrible time. So I bought these earbuds. I don't know. I have small ears. I bought these earbuds. Like, I just wanted some cheap ones. I didn't have time to wait on Amazon, but I have a lot of Zooms coming up, and I don't always want to come in here and sit, but I know I don't, my husband might be watching TV or people might be around. So I wanted to wear the earbuds and just mostly stay muted and then talk when I can talk. But so I'm like, okay, I need a pair of earbuds for the Zoom coming up, or the Zooms I have coming up. So I get some cheap ones from Target, because otherwise I would buy cheap ones from Amazon. But because anyway, y'all, they kept falling out of my ears like nonstop. And they were these earbuds that were like, if you touched the top of them, obviously I don't know that much about earbuds, but if you touch the top of them, like, it would like kick me out of the Zoom. And so, like, even when I just picked them up, it would just like disconnect. It was horrible. I feel bad. I don't know if it was Maggie or if it was Amy that kept having to let me back in. But I mean, like, I'd just be sitting there not doing anything dramatic, and they would just fall out. So I went on that very night and ordered a pair of like ones that just kind of go over your ears like this. I don't know. I may look like a gamer or just a silly stitch. But whatever. At least they're not going to fall off my head. So that's the game plan from here on out. Anyway, so in between my earbuds dropping out and having to get back into the Zoom every 5 minutes, I didn't get a ton done, but yeah, I love it. I love it. It's so pretty. So pretty. So, I need to figure out a stand situation for this so it can sit out all the time and I can make some progress on it someday, right? Okay, this next one I started stitching on in a couple of a morning or two, because we have a digital retreat coming up. It is the Stars Holo series hosted by the Black Needle Society. So Katie of the Black Needle Society, she's designed an autumn, summer, spring, and then we're about to get winter pattern, all regarding the Gilmore Girls. And they all fit together like this in a row. So I'm stitching this on a Lugana. I don't remember if it's 28 or 32 count. I was talking to Zan, Crazy Band Lady Stitches, and we were talking about needing to get some progress on that because I really only have, this is fall, this is summer, spring's supposed to go here, which I have nothing stitched on spring, and then winter goes on this far into fall. So at least I made it to the end of fall so I can easily start winter during the retreat, provided I can attend, because it seems like these last, all but like the first one, well, even the first one, I think I had COVID or something. I haven't been able to attend these digital retreats very well just because of life. Either I've had to work a lot, or I was sick, or somebody else needed something. Anyway, I was gonna try to really push and try to finish autumn, but I kind of pumping the brakes on that. So I'll come back to that later. But anyway, the new chart should be coming to us soon, and a new box of goodies. They do, Black Needle Society, they do fabulous boxes full of lots of fun stuff. So, you know, get a good box coming soon. All right, this is one of my focus pieces for 2024. It's one of my borrowed pieces. It's Strawberry Garden by Blackbird Designs. I'll put a picture up here. Sweet Stitchy friend has let me borrow it. I had to do some frogging before, but I've made some progress since you've seen it last. So there we are. I have stitched the strawberry again, and I've gone back in and done some more vine work and lazy daisy work. I'm stitching this on a piece of Milk and Honey Fiber on a Whim. It's a 40 count, but sorry, my nose is itching. But so I wasn't liking my lazy daisies, and I just realized I was doing something weird with the stitch, how I was pulling one of my end stitches around. I can't really easily go back and fix the ones that I did that look a little bit more straight, like straight line, like rosemary or something, because it's all connected to this vine, so I'd have to pull that out. But what I have done is I am getting better, and these lazy daisies up here are much more rounded, and that's what you're looking for. So you know, it makes it mine. It's not perfect, but that's one that that's one of my top priorities, my focus for 2024, because it is a borrowed piece. It lives in this gorgeous bag by Tammy Blaylock, Creative Country Girl. Perfect for this chart. Perfect. Oh, and I was lucky enough to have a Zoom with my friends Bobby at Pumpkin Creek Primitive and Carrie, 3 Trail Stitchers, and for a little bit the other girls from the 3 Trail Stitchers hopped on, Sarah and Whitney, and I was so happy to get to catch up with all of them. So that was really fun. One of my goals for 2024 is to make sure to facilitate the Zooms that I you know, am connected with more regularly. So yeah, so I've had a couple, we're having some Zooms. Here's Labyrinth Friends by the Little Stitcher. Yeah, and that's my cute little needle minder up there. All right, so Carrie and Bobby and I, we've been stitching on this a couple years now. We are not in any hurry. We only stitch on it when we're together Zooming, and sometimes you don't even stitch that much. I didn't even stitch that much this last time because I was tired. I'd had a long day. And so here's where I am. I'm stitching this one on a piece of 20 count Awakening by Stitch Me. We have a hashtag, Bog of Eternal Stench Sal. If you know, you know, all right? So I think all I got done this time was I did Hoggle's little legs, and I did some back stitching in his top, and then I started on his boot with that thread that I had left over from the back stitching. And then I looked in my bag and there was no more 310. I don't know what happened to the 310 that was in there, and I was tired and I didn't feel like getting up and going to find any 310. So I just put it down and I've got like a half stitched boot, and I just hung out with my friends and listened to them and tried not to fall asleep. It's not them, it was me. I was just super tired that night. So yep, so that was fun. So I'll be catching up with them again next month and getting some little stitching done on that one, maybe. This one is Bayou Cat by Aloe Forest Embroidery. So I've had this whip for a couple years now, and Allie and Sarah, Allie Z is Crafty and Stitchy.Sarah.E, they started a stitch along, hashtag Owl Forest Fridays. So last Friday I pulled out Bayou Cat and I put a few stitches in. So here we are. Stitching this on the kit linen, which is just like a mottled neutral. I'm using the beautiful variegated Owl Forest floss. And I worked all up in this area up here, up in that triangle, getting all that black. Actually, I did I think I finished all the inside and I did that. Yeah. So it's about halfway done. I'm just going to work on him every Friday. And then I have plenty of Owl Force WIPS. So when I'm done with Buying Cat, then I will move on to whichever one I decide to work on next. So that's fun. I like that they started that. Easy for me to keep up with that. Okay, I did stitch a day on this guy here. My Christmas Moose by Panna. Hashtag Marty the Christmas Moose, Sal, that I started with Nancy and Jenny of the Bougie Stitchers. So they stitch on Marty on snow days. And, you know, we just don't really have a snow situation here very often. So he is my precipitation stitch. So it rained, and I really fell off on him last year, but I'm going to make a good effort this year. So here's Marty, and I'm stitching him on a piece of 32 count Arctic Blast by Seraphim Fabrics. He looks so good. I worked just up in here. I'm not terribly too much more to finish this side of his antlers. I've got a tree and some more mountains to go in, and then I'm gonna head back down here and finish his head and his body. Yeah, try to keep up on him this year. But yeah, so I just have like the corner up here to finish, and then I'll go back down and get busy down there. He's so cute. I am excited. I'm excited to get to the part where I have to do this weird little smoky yarny stuff. He's gonna be cute. I'm gonna have him framed for sure. Oops. He lives in a fun Mickey GaRon tote bags bag. Okay, so my WIP Go for this year, if you watched my plans video, I'm having a WIP Go Walk of Shame board that includes all of the remaining charts that I did in UFO that I didn't touch in 2023. So one of the first numbers that was drawn was this one, Let Freedom Ring by Leela Studio. My plan is to stitch on my WIP Goes on Saturdays. So I did that on Saturday. Here's where we are. So I worked up in this. I worked on those little flowers in here and the leaves, and I started doing another little bird. Oh, and I had stopped this border, which is very fiddly to stitch. I had stopped it around here, and so I finished some more of that. And this border, so I was Zooming with some friends that I met at the Stitch New England retreat. They had a Zoom going, and they've adopted Zan and I, and so we now join them on their Zooms when we can. And one of the Stitchers was talking about she wasn't very kind to her future self during our Zoom, and I had not been kind to my future self either, because where I stopped this border, I had left so many threads hanging back here. It was such a puzzle to figure out what color was going where and what I'm doing with what. And so when I stitched the border this time, I made a resolution that I was going to finish that thread color out and then finish that thread color out, and that way so I didn't have a bunch hanging to come back to, because you do kind of leave it hanging in between, but it was a mess. It was a mess. So it took much longer than it should have, but this is so gorgeous. I'm stitching this on a piece of, I think it's 32 count, Not Another Sampler by Bestitch Me. I do have a very, like, only 1.5 inch margin up here. Got a little bit more down here, but I'm plenty. I'm good on the, but yeah, my framer's gonna love that. But so this one will come back out this coming Saturday, and I'll work on that one some more. And I really like working on this one, so I hate to be putting it away, but I'll be heading over to my next one, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, which is going to be The Moons of 2022 by Kathy Barrett. That's the other one that's been pulled. Okay, and my last WIP that I worked on these past 2 weeks is Touching the Autumn Sky by Mirabilia. This is an out-of-print chart that I borrowed from a sweet stitchy friend. She is MD number 33. And she can be kind of hard to get your hands on. And so she's one of my focus pieces for 2024. I would like to finish her by StitchCon. That's June. So my friend Lisa of Cross by Floss, she hosts Mira Monday Stitching. So this is going to be my Mira Monday stitch until she's done. So I'll show you where I am. Right there. So this is stitched on a piece of, I think it's 32 count Snowdrift Fabrics by, no, it's 28 count Snowdrift Fabrics by Stephanie. And, oh, welcome to my newest member of the family. This is Wintergreen by Clay by Kim. Aren't we gorge? Okay, so I think that, I don't know, the last time you saw this, I don't know. But I will say on Monday, I got, and I stitched some on Tuesday too. I got like all of this done, this done, and then this. So I got a lot done. And this was fun to stitch on. I really enjoyed myself. I really liked it. So she's moving along pretty fast. I feel like she's moving along pretty fast. I mean, obviously there's a ton left to do, but I'm feeling good about the progress on her. So she's doing good. She's living in a very appropriate GaRon Totem Bags Autumn pumpkin bag. Love it, love it. So I'm excited to keep working on Touching the Autumn Sky. Y'all, those were my WIPs. So let's see, what do I have coming up in the next couple weeks? I have a bunch of Zooms lined up, so I'll have plenty of new stuff I've been stitching on to show you when I come back in a few weeks. I also did a fun thing this past Saturday. So our friend Ymir, Almond M&Ms, started a hashtag called #StitchAndRun. And basically, while she's been running a lot, she's been running marathons. She's unbelievable. A group of friends has formed and stitched while she's running, and that was really fun. So we did that for a little bit early Saturday morning, and she had a short race. So, but she was so sweet when she finished the race. She took us through a tour of New York City. I've never been to New York City. I would love to go to New York City, but it was so fun. She took us on her when she finished her race. She took us on her walk with her and showed us all the buildings, and we went by the Met, and she was explaining like who lived here and where was this, and this was just a facade, and there's really a store behind it, and like it was fabulous. It was so much fun. So thank you for Ymir and all the other sweet friends on the Zoom that I got to catch up with. It was nice to get to talk to everybody on Saturday. So yeah, Athena facilitated that one and got our Zoom up and going. So thank you, Athena. I appreciate it. Yeah, so plans wise, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I've got Owl Forest Friday. I've got several Zooms set up for the stitch alongs, like my Halloween at Hawker and Holo and Scary Sampler and Going to Grandma's and Forest Goddess. So I'm trying to keep those going. It's so fun to catch up with everybody and to get some work into that WIP that we started. So other than that, just a bunch of stitching the next couple weeks. I don't know if I'm going to have any finishes when I come back. I don't know how that's gonna. I'm not working on anything right this second that's super close. I mean, maybe Santa's Best Friend might be finished. That would be nice to be able to be done with. Yeah. So also. I did make something that I wanted to show y'all. When Zan and I were at the Stitch New England retreat, she picked me up a few goodies from from Stitch New England store. And one of these was this cool little witch hat. It's actually a magnet needle minder, but it's got a needle threader on it. I was so excited to get this. Now, my friend Bernadette, she has some that she loves, but she likes the needle threaders that have like the smaller wire loop. But this is the kind that I like. I don't know what I think there's a Loran brand of this, but this is a style that works best for me. So when Zan got me this, I was super excited. And I use it all the time. And I don't necessarily use it like a needle minder, like with each part over my fabric. I actually usually am like sticking it on top of an existing needle minder or whatever, something magnetic on my stand. So I pull the whole thing off basically every time. I don't know if there's another way to do that, but I just pull the whole thing off. So I thought, well, I'm a very seasonal person. So I just don't really want to go with this witch hat all the time. And so I went to the Etsy store. It's called Scarlet Sky Designs TX, but they didn't have any more. So I was like, I'm going to make my own. So I made my own. So I'm proud of it. So I had a really cute kind of like winter button. And so, yeah, I made it into a needle minder. And I used one of my needle threaders that was just out there, and yay! So now I need to find a couple more. seasonal ones, but I love it. It's cute, super, super useful. I love these so much. All right, Stitchy Kindness, and then haul. Okay, I thought I also bought an online pattern or two. I know I did. Okay, I might have to just stand by because I think there was something I wanted to show y'all that I just bought. Let's see. Sorry, I don't normally like to do this while I'm charting, but oh, I am waiting on a delivery of a hank of silk from Silks For You from Australia because I am planning to restart the Queen's Gambit by Long Dog Samplers. I am joining Aaron, 2 Martini Stitches, and all of those folks for the Long Dog Leap Year Stitch Along. And so I'm going to start that or restart that on that day. And so then I've got, what, like 4 years to get it done. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I just, you know, I thought I ordered some. I did order one. I don't know why I didn't have this, but I ordered a Lord of the Rings. It's just like a no admittance except on party business. It's from Stitched Up Geek on Etsy. Yeah, I feel like I need that. I feel like I need that hanging up by my front door, on my front door. I don't know. I don't know where I need it, but I need it. Okay, so let's see. Stitchy Kindness. I got a really, really sweet Christmas card in the mail just yesterday from my friend Milka. Milka is Mega Stitches on FlossTube. Yeah, and she wrote the nicest note in there, so thank you, Milka. You're so sweet. I appreciate that. And then, so this isn't necessarily stitchy, but it's like fiber related, right? So my son's girlfriend and family live in Guatemala, and he just got home the other night. And so some of the gifts that they brought me back are very fiber oriented. So I wanted to share with you some of these in this little bitty box. Guatemala is known for these little worry dolls, and basically it tells you to there's a legend in the villages that if you have a problem, share it with your little doll before going to bed, and then put it under your pillow. And they're like these little tiny handmade dolls. Oh my goodness. Like, it's so fabulous. And then she got me kind of like a larger one. But look, I mean, she's all handmade. Look at her skirt and her scarf. She's fabulous, fabulous. And then they also brought me a really sweet necklace and, sorry, they gave me a bowl. I felt like a princess the other night. But anyway, it's a really pretty, like, beaded, handmade, like, necklace and bracelet. But another little handmade bag. I mean, this is fabulous. And then, there's a Mayan people in Guatemala. See these beautiful handmade coasters? Like, I don't know how they make these. They must weave them together somehow. And this gorgeous scarf. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So sweet. So sweet. So fiber arts are just amazing, aren't they? Okay. A little bit of haul. Little bit of haul. I got my quarterly club from Colleen, my friend of Rebel Stitcher Designs. She has a little quarterly club. I think she has a wait list going. You can just sign up, and she just sends you well, actually, she sends you one of her needle minders, and then everything's kind of themed around the needle minders. These are her needle minders that she creates herself. So look, we've got some blackbirds singing in a pie. And so she gave us a packet of fun stickers and some bird scissors. And then this is so cute. This is by Jersey Girl Stitch Co. These little counting pins. That's adorable. Adorable. I love it. So that was a fun little happy in the mail from Colleen. And then when I visited my sister-in-law, a lady she worked with, I don't know if it was her mother-in-law or somebody, had a bunch of old Leisure Arts leaflets with these bread cloths on them. And I think, and I don't anticipate making any bread cloths, y'all, but some of these holiday ones are really fun. And I'm like, well, Might be able to use them for something someday. I like these little geese with the heart down there. And this has about every holiday, you know, like a lot of holidays on here, even a St. Patrick's Day. So that was nice of her to think of me and to pass those on. Then last but not least, let's see. I got my January bag of the month from GaRon Stitchery. Beautiful red birds. And the snow and the pine cones. Pretty inside fabric. I had an order come from them. Let's see. I got my fabric of the month by Fox and Rabbit. It's called Australian Christmas Bush. That is a very pretty color. Very, very pretty. I got a piece of 32 count Peppermint Sparkle by Fabrics by Stephanie. And a piece of 32 count Gingerbread by Fabrics by Stephanie. And a piece of 32 count Winter Solstice by Fabrics by Stephanie. Yep, I bought all the Fabrics by Stephanie this time. And then a few charts I just couldn't live without. I've been wanting this one ever since I saw they stitched this. It's by Nimue. He reminds me of the alligator in Princess and the Frog, the Disney movie. I mean, what's his name? Clarence or something? I don't know. I love it. I love it. And then I think of Louis Armstrong. So I just love this. It's so good. So I'm excited about this one. This is a French chart. It was not cheap. I don't know. I guess it's because of where they, I don't know. I guess because it's not US. It's stitched with DMC. There's a whole series of these. And this, I've been eyeing this one. After I got the chart though, and I read the supply list, boy, oh boy. This is by Quaint Rose Needle Arts, and I am loving a lot of what Quaint Rose Needle Arts is putting out. This is Josephine and Anne 1867. I think this is a gorgeous sampler. I was particularly enamored with these flowers here and their striping and the blue. Oh my gosh. I love this one. Yeah, and so I started like, okay, maybe I'll keep this up because I really, really like this one. So it's 271 by 250, so she's a big girl. So they used some Gentle Arts Simply wool, which I like that. I like that. I like that look. And then they used some Gentle Arts cotton and then some DMC. But, oh my goodness, like the Gentle Arts cotton Simply wool, in one of them, Bayberry, it says I need like 13 skeins. That must be all that green or something. Wow. 4 skeins of Ruby Slippers, 3 of Butter Crunch. Yeah, so I mean, like, I appreciate them putting on there that you need so many multiples, but I don't even know how much a skein of Gentle Arts Simply wool costs. I must investigate. But I think this is gorgeous, and I would love to start this. Oh, it's so pretty. I do have plenty of samplers going though, so maybe I'll save it for a rainy day, right? Okay, I think that's everything. So, hey, oh my gosh, if I do this every 2 weeks and I can get these under an hour, this is going to be wild. This is going to be like not my normal jam. Interesting. Okay, so I think that's it for the last couple weeks. I told y'all what my plans are, what's going on. I hope if we do get snow, I hope it's okay for when I have to go to work Monday morning, because I work in healthcare, and even though I'm working in an outpatient facility, we are required to get there before they usually make any kind of weather decision. So yeah, I'll probably have to drive in there anyway. And we just don't have the equipment to prepare our streets or anything around here. So it's usually just Hot Mess Express. So I could potentially be snowed in for a couple days. It wouldn't hurt my feelings, I'll tell you that, because I have plenty of stitching to do. I have plenty of stitching to do, and I have plenty of Zooming, and I am way behind on FlossTubes. You should see, if you could see my watch later list, it's very long. Every time somebody else's comes up that I know I want to see, I'm like, watch later, watch later, watch. I'm trying to get through them, but it's such a fun, like, whip parade, finish parade season, plans, you know, New Year's stuff. It's really fun. So hoping to get mine up this weekend as well and add it to the mix. So yeah, head on over and check it out once it does get there. That's pretty much it, y'all. Yeah, looking forward to the next couple weeks. Oh, Saturday, we're having our 901 Stitch Together at Stitchers Inc in Memphis. So if you are in the area, come on and join us. We'll be there from 2 to 4, stitching our little hearts out. I think we're going to have a good group coming this Saturday, so I'm looking forward to seeing everyone. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day or night, whichever it may be. Enjoy your stitching, take care, and I will see you soon. Thanks.